A $220 battery and an $89 battery can come off the exact same production line. Same plates, same acid, same chemistry. The only thing that changes is the sticker. Walk into any AutoZone or O'Reilly and you'll see it. The wall of batteries, big names up top, no-name brands down low, and a price gap that feels like it should mean something. Your brain fills in the blank automatically. Expensive equals reliable, cheap equals risky. And you don't want to find out which one you bought at 11 p.m. in a January parking lot with 4% battery on your phone. Here's what the industry doesn't put on the label. Clarios, the company formerly known as Johnson Controls Power Solutions and the largest automotive battery manufacturer on Earth, builds product for multiple price tiers at once. So does East Penn Manufacturing. So does Interes. One factory, one chemistry, 3 to 15 different brand names depending on who signed the retail contract that year. The battery doesn't change. The box does. Fleet operators and independent testers have quietly run the numbers on some of these ignored budget brands. Cold cranking amps, reserve capacity, cycle life under repeated deep discharge. And in more than a few cases, the results aren't close. Some $89 batteries have flat-out outlasted $220 ones in documented side-by-side tests. Not all cheap batteries are good. Some of them will strand you, but 6 of them are hiding in plain sight, and nobody's told you which ones. Number 6. Duralast, AutoZone's house brand, and it looks exactly like what you'd expect from a house brand. No racing pedigree, no commercial with a truck crawling up a cliff. Just a name that sounds like a compromise. Except the Duralast Gold and Duralast Platinum lines come out of East Penn Manufacturing, a Pennsylvania producer that regularly ranks among the top battery makers in North America by volume and by quality. East Penn's own premium line, sold under the Deca name, ends up in hospital backup generators, emergency vehicles, and commercial fleets. Places where a dead battery isn't an inconvenience, it's a liability. Duralast Gold shares that manufacturing lineage. AutoZone controls its own distribution end-to-end, no wholesaler taking a cut in the middle, which is why the price comes down without the spec sheet coming down with it. The cold cranking amp numbers on the Gold line consistently hit or beat what's printed on the label, and that number is the one that decides whether your engine turns over at 10 degrees. Number 5. ACDelco. People skip this one because it's sitting on a Walmart shelf, and the Walmart shelf does something to how it gets perceived before anyone reads a single spec. ACDelco is General Motors' own parts division. Its Advantage and Professional lines come out of supply agreements tied to OEM production, the same manufacturing floor standard used for batteries that ship inside new Chevrolets. The ACDelco Professional AGM has shown up in independent testing, performing within a statistical rounding error of batteries priced almost double. It also carries a 36-month free replacement warranty, where most batteries at that price point top out around 18. Most people grab the more confident-sounding name next to it and pay more for the privilege. Number 4. EverStart. This one's messier than the rest because the shelf presentation hides a real split inside the product line. EverStart Max comes from Clarios, the same parent manufacturer behind several of the biggest premium names in the category. The base EverStart line is a completely different animal. Different supplier, different spec tier, different result. The packaging is nearly identical between the two. One word is different. That's not an accident, and it's worth reading the fine print before you grab whichever one is closer to the register. By now, the pattern should be obvious. It was never that cheap batteries are secretly better across the board. It's that the thing you've been using to judge them, price, name recognition, how confident the label sounds, has almost nothing to do with what actually determines performance. What matters is who made the cells, what chemistry went into them, and whether the CCA and reserve capacity numbers on the box were measured honestly or padded for the shelf. The industry is betting you won't check. Most people don't. If this is useful so far, that's genuinely all this channel runs on. No sponsors in this one, just the research. A subscribe helps more than you'd think. Number 3. Odyssey. Not cheap in the traditional sense. It sits mid-tier and sometimes above, but almost universally underrated because it has zero mainstream visibility. No Super Bowl ad, no shelf placement at the big box stores, nothing. Odyssey is made by Interes, and their actual customers are the US military, commercial aviation, and marine deep cycle applications, environments where a dead battery is a mission failure, not a bad morning. The PC680 and PC925 lines use pure lead AGM plates instead of the standard lead calcium flooded cell construction. which allows thinner plates, more plate surface area, and a real 400-cycle deep discharge lifespan. Most automotive batteries never get close to. SAE testing has placed Odyssey's actual cold cranking output within 2 to 3% of the rated number on the box, unusually honest for this industry. Most flooded cell batteries test 15 to 20% below their stated CCA once real cold hits. A battery rated at 600 CCA might only deliver 490 at 0 degrees. That gap is the difference between your car starting and not starting. Odyssey's gap is close to nothing. Number 2, SuperStart, O'Reilly's house brand, and this one genuinely annoys people in fleet management. SuperStart Extreme AGM units have been running quietly in commercial fleets for years with failure rates that would embarrass some of the premium names next to them on the shelf. And almost nobody knows it because O'Reilly never poured money into consumer marketing the way AutoZone did with Duralast. SuperStart Extreme also comes out of East Penn, just under a different label. Fleet managers don't care what the label says. They care about replacement frequency and whether a delivery van starts on a February morning after sitting outside for 6 hours. The numbers on SuperStart Extreme back that up. And the final 2. One of these is going to be a brand name you recognize from somewhere you didn't expect. The other one might make you rethink how battery ratings actually work in this country. Number 1, Northstar. You won't find it at Walmart or AutoZone. Northstar Battery Company is a subsidiary of Interes, the same parent as Odyssey, and it was built almost entirely for European OEM contracts before it ever reached the North American aftermarket. Volvo, BMW, and Mercedes-Benz specify Northstar for factory fitment on certain high-demand electrical systems because its AGM construction handles the load from stop-start technology and regenerative braking that modern premium vehicles run constantly. That's the battery sitting under the hood of your neighbor's new BMW. You can buy the same product through specialty automotive retailers and online distributors for a fraction of dealership parts pricing. Independent testing published through Battery University, a technical research resource run by battery analyzer manufacturer Cadex Electronics, has documented Northstar's cycle life and charge acceptance as among the best in the automotive AGM category. It's not an $89 battery. Compared to dealership pricing for the same spec, it's still a different conversation entirely. And the bonus entry, excess power, which is where this whole thing lands somewhere unexpected. Excess power started in performance audio and motorsport, the kind of brand you see bolted into competition builds and debated in forums by people who've rewired their entire electrical system. That origin creates an assumption. Overkill for a daily driver, irrelevant if you just need your minivan to start for 6 straight years. That assumption doesn't hold up. Excess power batteries are tested against AGM standards that exceed most automotive OEM benchmarks because their original customer base, race teams, competition audio systems, punishes a weak battery in ways a parking lot never will. The D3400 and D3100 lines have been independently tested for internal resistance, charge retention over 90-day storage, and deep cycle recovery under conditions standard automotive testing doesn't even require. Apply those results to ordinary daily driving, and the performance margin is real. Here's what to actually do with this. Find the BCI group number your vehicle needs. That's the physical size spec, or cross-reference it against East Penn's Deca line, the ACDelco Professional AGM, or Duralast Gold in your group size. Check the warranty terms. Check the actual CCA rating. Then look for any independent test data on that exact model. 8 minutes costs nothing. The information was never hidden. It just wasn't handed to you at the counter. The manufacturers doing honest work publish their specs because their specs hold up under scrutiny. What you've been told to ignore might be exactly what your car needs. And if this changed how you look at the wall next time you're standing in front of it, what other parts in your car are running on the same gap between reputation and actual performance? Drop the one you're most curious about below.